My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen with your heart. This is not an accident. This is not random. Jesus has been trying to reach you all day, through quiet nudges, through delays, through moments you could not explain. And now, in this exact second, heaven has aligned time just for you. This message is only for you. What will happen in the next 30 minutes was not meant for anyone else to see, hear, or understand in this way. Beloved one, there is a reason your spirit feels alert right now. There is a reason your chest feels slightly heavy, yet hopeful. The Lord Jesus is standing near, and Archangel Michael has been dispatched as a guardian over this moment. A spiritual shift has already begun, and you are standing at the edge of it. Many were invited, but few stayed long enough to hear this. You stayed. That alone speaks volumes about your calling. Hear this clearly. Today was not an ordinary day. All day long, heaven hath been knocking on the door of your awareness. Through a psalm, through a memory, through a sudden thought that interrupted your routine. You may have ignored it once. You may have brushed it off twice. But the third time, your soul responded. That is why you are here now. Jesus says, I needed you to hear this before the next 30 minutes unfold. Something has been forming behind the scenes. Conversations you do not know about. Decisions made quietly. Movements shifting subtly. You felt it as restlessness. You felt it as anticipation without explanation. This is because a divine adjustment is about to touch your life. Not loudly, not dramatically, but precisely. And once it happens, you will look back and realize this message with the warning, the comfort, and the confirmation. Beloved, Archangel Michael is standing as a shield around you right now. Not because danger is near, but because significance is. When heaven prepares to release something important, protection increases. You have been under unusual spiritual pressure lately, and now you understand why. The enemy sensed movement but could not stop it. Jesus allowed the pressure, not to break you, but to sharpen your discernment. Listen carefully. In the next 30 minutes, you will notice one of three things. A message will come. A thought will suddenly become clear. Or a delay will turn into a redirection. Do not dismiss any of it. What looks small will carry great meaning. What feels ordinary will carry divine instruction. Jesus says this moment will answer a question you have been asking silently. You have been wondering if you are seen, if your prayers are heard, if your waiting has been in vain. The answer is no. Heaven has recorded every tear, every sigh, every moment you chose faith over fear. And now, the response is arriving in a way tailored only for you. This is why this message was not meant for anyone else. Others may hear the words, but only you will recognize the timing. Beloved child, do not rush after this message ends. Sit. Breathe. Observe. Let your spirit stay alert. Archangel Michael is urging you to remain spiritually awake, because what unfolds next will require discernment, not reaction. Jesus says, trust me with the timing. Trust me with the outcome. Trust me even if it comes differently than you expected. There is also something else you must hear. What is coming is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to align you. If you feel emotional, let it flow. If you feel calm, receive it. If you feel uncertain, stay still. The Lord is not asking you to act yet. He is asking you to witness. You were chosen for this moment because your heart can carry it. Others would have doubted. Others would have panicked. But you have been trained through waiting, through silence, through seasons where nothing made sense. All of that was preparation for clarity, and clarity is closer than you think. My beloved child, do not share this lightly. Not everyone will understand. Some will question. Some will mock. This revelation is sealed for those who walk by faith. You will know when to speak and when to remain quiet. Archangel Michael is guarding your words as much as your steps. As these next minutes unfold, remember this: Jesus is not late. He is intentional. What is about to shift will not just change a moment. It will change how you see the path ahead. Stay open. Stay gentle. Stay believing. Beloved soul, as this moment continues to unfold, your spirit is being drawn deeper, not by force but by recognition. There is something familiar about these words, something that feels like home. That is because Jesus is speaking to the part of you that has been quietly listening all along. Even when your mind was busy, your spirit stayed attentive. Heaven noticed that. Throughout the day, you may have felt slightly distracted or unusually sensitive. That was not weakness. That was alignment beginning to take shape. Jesus hath been preparing your inner hearing so you would not miss what matters. Archangel Michael has been near, not just guarding, but steadying you, helping you remain calm as subtle shifts take place around you. When clarity approaches, peace often arrives first. You are not late. You did not miss your window. What heaven is doing now is not rushed, and it is not delayed. It is precise. You may have wondered why certain answers did not come earlier, why doors seemed quiet, why progress felt slow. Jesus says it was because your heart needed to be strengthened before your understanding could be expanded. Now both are ready. Listen closely. In these moments, your awareness is sharpening. You may begin to connect dots from your past that never made sense before. Situations, people, and decisions are aligning into a clearer picture. This is the gentle work of the Spirit. Nothing dramatic, yet deeply transformative. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this process, ensuring that confusion does not steal what clarity is building. There is also a reason you were guided to stay here instead of scrolling away. Your attention is being honored. When you choose to stay present with truth, heaven leans closer. That is why this message keeps unfolding layer by layer. Jesus does not overwhelm. He reveals in grace. And what he is revealing now is your resilience. You are stronger than you think, more prepared than you realize. Beloved, this is a sacred pause, a moment where you are not asked to fix, chase, or prove anything. You are asked to receive. Receive reassurance. Receive direction. Receive peace. If your heart has been carrying questions about your purpose, your relationships, or your future, know this: answers often arrive first as peace before they arrive as information. Archangel Michael is reminding you that protection is not always about blocking storms. Sometimes it is about teaching you how to stand steady when winds change. You are learning discernment, and that skill will serve you well in what lies ahead. Trust what feels calm. Question what feels right. Jesus is patient, and his guidance never pressures. Now allow me to speak to you directly, heart to heart. If this message is resonating, if you feel seen and understood, do not keep it to yourself. When you like this video, you are not clicking a button. You are signaling agreement with truth. When you share it, you become a messenger, helping someone else recognize a moment they thought they missed. When you comment, even with a simple word, you activate connection, and connection multiplies light. If you have not yet subscribed, this is your invitation. This space exists so messages like this can continue reaching those who need them most. Join this growing community of believers who listen not with fear, but with faith. If there is an option to join the membership, know that it is a way of standing closer, of supporting the continued release of messages that carry hope, clarity, and divine reassurance. Jesus often works through community, through voices, through shared moments like this one. Your engagement helps keep this channel visible to hearts that are still searching. Archangel Michael honors acts done with intention, even digital ones, when they are rooted in love and obedience. As this message continues to settle into your spirit, you may feel a gentle nudge to reflect. What has been weighing on you lately? What decision hath been sitting quietly in the background of your thoughts? Do not rush to answer. Simply notice. Awareness is the doorway to wisdom. Jesus says that what you notice now will matter soon. There is still more to be revealed, and it builds upon what you are feeling right now. The unfolding is intentional, and each layer prepares you for the next. Hold on to this sense of connection, because what comes next will bring even deeper understanding. Trust me, you will want to stay with this, because the clarity ahead will surprise you in the best way possible. My precious one, as you continue listening, something deeper is happening within you. This is not just understanding. This is recognition. Your spirit is remembering what your mind once forgot. Jesus is drawing closer now, not to overwhelm you, but to reassure you that nothing about your journey has been wasted. Even the pauses, even the silence, even the moments where you felt overlooked were part of a divine layering process. Archangel Michael is present in this hour as a confirmer. He is reminding you that heaven does not rush what must last. What you have been walking through required strength, discernment, and patience, and you have carried all three more faithfully than you realize. There were days when you felt unseen, yet you kept choosing kindness. Nights when answers did not come, yet you still believe. A consistency I'm not gonna notice. Jesus says the reason this message feels personal is because it is. You have been carrying a quiet burden, one you rarely speak about. You smile for others, you show up, you keep going, but inside there has been a question echoing, when will it be my turn? Heaven heard that question the moment it formed, and the response is not a delay, but a preparation. Right now, something is loosening. Old expectations that weighed you down are being gently lifted. You may feel lighter without knowing why. That is grace at work. Archangel Michael stands guard as old cycles close, ensuring that what no longer serves you does not follow you forward. You are not losing anything of value. You are making room. Here is also a truth Jesus wants you to receive without resistance. You are allowed to hope again. Not cautiously, not quietly, clearly. Some disappointments taught you to guard your expectations, to keep your faith small so the pain would be manageable. But that season has taught you what it needed to teach you. You no longer need to shrink your hope to survive. This next phase will require trust, but not blind trust. It will be anchored in clarity. You will know when to move and when to wait. You will recognize peace even when circumstances are still forming. That is maturity, and it has been growing in you steadily. Archangel Michael is reminding you that protection also means direction. You are being guided away from what drains you and toward what restores you. Pay attention to what energizes your spirit and what exhausts it. Jesus often leads through peace, not pressure. What aligns with him will feel steady, even if it challenges you. You may notice that your prayers are changing. They are becoming simpler, more honest, less about outcomes and more about alignment. That is not weakness. That is intimacy. Jesus values your honesty more than your perfection. He already knows your heart. This is about you trusting Him with it. Beloved, there is a sacred exchange happening right now. As you release control, heaven releases clarity. As you let go of fear, faith steps forward. This is not a coincidence. This is cooperation between your will and God's grace. And it is powerful. Before this message moves any further, receive this gently. You are not behind. You are right on time. Everything you needed to become for what is coming, you have been becoming. Totally, quietly, faithfully. Archangel Michael bears witness to your perseverance, and Jesus delights in it. Now, take this moment seriously, not with anxiety, but with reverence. What you are sensing is real. What you are feeling is valid. Let it settle into your spirit without rushing to explain it. Some revelations are meant to be lived before they are understood. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, do this as an act of agreement. Type "I receive divine timing" in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 844 has just been released over your life. Now hear this and receive it as a sacred invitation. The words you are hearing right now are not just meant to reach you. They are meant to reach many others who are still waiting for hope. When you choose to support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal offering found in the description, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing light into souls that are still in the dark. I am speaking to you directly because heaven trusts your heart to respond. As you release your seed, the Lord declares that rivers will open where there were dry places, and oil will flow where there was weariness. This is not a donation. This is an act of obedience and alignment. What you give becomes a voice, carrying truth farther than you could go alone. I bless your giving as a prophetic act that will return to you pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Step forward now and release what heaven is prompting, and watch how God multiplies it beyond your expectation. Beloved child, as this message continues, there is a deepening taking place within you. This is not just encouragement anymore. This is alignment. Jesus is not only speaking to comfort you, He is positioning your heart to recognize what is unfolding next. You are being invited into a higher awareness, one where you no longer interpret life only through past pain, but through present purpose. Archangel Michael is standing close in this hour, not with urgency, but with steadiness. His presence signals that what is ahead requires courage mixed with peace. You have already walked through seasons that tried to harden you, yet you remained soft. The choice mattered. Softness kept your spirit teachable. Softness kept your faith alive. Heaven honors that more than you know. You may notice that your thoughts are becoming clearer, even about things you once avoided thinking about. This is not pressure. This is readiness. Jesus says you are now strong enough to look at certain truths without fear. Where there was once avoidance, there is now understanding. Where there was once confusion, there is now calm curiosity. This is growth. Here is something important you must hear clearly. Not everything that ended was a loss. Some endings were protection. Some closed doors were mercy disguised as disappointment. At the time, you did not have the full picture, and that was intentional. If you had known then what you know now, you might have tried to force outcomes that would have cost you peace. Jesus withheld certain answers not to punish you, but to preserve you. Archangel Michael is reminding you that discernment sharpens with time. You are no longer easily shaken by opinions, moods, or sudden changes. You pause now. You observe. You listen. That is wisdom for me. And wisdom will be required for the next decisions you will face. They will not be loud decisions. but they will be impactful. There is also healing happening in subtle ways. Old emotional reactions are losing their grip. Situations that once triggered anxiety now feel manageable. This is not because circumstances changed, but because you did. Jesus has been healing you layer by layer, often without you noticing. Healing does not always announce itself. Sometimes it simply shows up as peace where chaos used to live. You are entering a season where your yes will matter more than your explanations. Not everyone will understand why you choose differently now. Not everyone will agree with your boundaries, your pace, or your priorities. That is okay. You are no longer living to be understood by everyone. You are living to be aligned with God's voice. Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that obedience often requires quiet courage. You may feel prompted to step back from certain conversations, environments, or habits. This is not isolation. This is refinement. Jesus is teaching you how to protect what He is building within you. Not everything deserves access to your spirit. As you listen, you may feel a gentle strengthening in your resolve. You are less willing to settle, less willing to ignore red flags, less willing to betray your own peace just to keep others comfortable. That shift is holy. It is the fruit of maturity, and heaven celebrates it. There is also joy returning in unexpected ways. Small moments will begin to feel meaningful again. Laughter will come more easily. Gratitude will rise without effort. These are signs that your soul is recovering its breath. Jesus delights in restoring joy, not as a reward for perfection, but as a gift of relationship. Hear this clearly, beloved. What is coming into your life will require you to trust what you sense, not just what you see. You will be invited to make choices based on inner confirmation rather than external validation. This may feel unfamiliar at first, but you are not unprepared. You have been trained through waiting, through silence, through learning to listen. Archangel Michael is guarding your confidence now. Not confidence rooted in pride, but confidence rooted in knowing who walks with you. You do not walk alone. You never have. Even in moments when you felt forgotten, heaven was active behind the scenes, arranging, redirecting, and protecting. Do not rush this season. There is no prize for speed here. This is a time for depth, for clarity, for intentional movement. Jesus is not asking you to have everything figured out. He is asking you to stay connected, one step at a time, one decision at a time, one moment of trust after another. As this part settles into your spirit, let yourself breathe. Let the pressure to perform fall away. You are not being tested, you are being prepared. And what you are becoming now will support everything that is about to unfold. Beloved one, as you remain present with these words, a quiet strengthening is taking place within you. This is the kind of strength that does not announce itself, yet it changes how you stand, how you speak, and how you choose. Jesus is not rushing you forward. He is rooting you deeper. And roots matter most when new ground is ahead. You may have noticed that certain desires are changing. Things you once chased no longer excite you the same way. This is not loss of passion. It is refinement of purpose. Archangel Michael is watching as unnecessary attachments loosen their hold, not by force, but by understanding. You are beginning to see what truly feeds your spirit and what only distracted it. There is also an invitation in this season to trust silence. Not every moment requires a response. Not every situation needs your explanation. Jesus often does his deepest work in stillness, where there is no performance, no audience, only honesty. Silence is not emptiness. It is space for God to move. You are becoming more aware of your inner responses. When something feels off, you notice it sooner. When something feels right, you feel peace rather than excitement. This shift is important. Peace will guide you more accurately than adrenaline ever could. Archangel Michael stands guard over your discernment, helping you recognize the difference. There is something else happening that you may not have words for yet. A sense of readiness mixed with patience. You are not desperate for change, but you are no longer afraid of it either. The balance is rare, and it is valuable. It means you are learning to trust God's timing without disconnecting from expectation. Jesus wants you to understand this clearly. Waiting does not mean nothing is happening. Waiting is often where transformation is most active. While you wait, your character is being strengthened, your vision is being clarified, and your faith is being anchored. These things cannot be rushed, because they are meant to last. You may feel drawn to simplify your life in small ways. Clearing space, reordering priorities, letting go of commitments that no longer align. This is not withdrawal, it is wisdom. Archangel Michael supports this process because simplicity makes it easier to hear God's voice. When there is less noise, clarity increases. There may also be memory surfacing, not to haunt you but to heal you. Moments from your past are being revisited through a new lens. Where there was once regret, there is now understanding. Where there was once shame, there is now compassion for who you were at that time. Jesus is rewriting how you relate to your own story. Do not be surprised if you feel less reactive. Things that once upset you deeply now pass through without settling. This does not mean you no longer care. It means you are no longer ruled by emotional storms. You are learning to respond rather than react, and that is a sign of spiritual authority growing quietly within you. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that boundaries are not walls. They are gates. You decide what enters and what stays out. This is especially important now, because your sensitivity is increasing. You are becoming more aware of atmospheres, tones, and intentions. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is stewardship. There is a gentle confidence forming in you, one that does not need constant affirmation. You are beginning to trust your ability to hear God, to make wise choices, to recover quickly if you stumble. Jesus is pleased with this growth because it reflects relationship, not dependence on signs alone. You may sense that certain connections are shifting. Some people will naturally drift, while others will draw closer. Let this happen without forcing it. Not every relationship is meant to follow you into every season. Archangel Michael oversees these transitions to ensure that what remains is aligned with where you are going. As this awareness deepens, you may feel called to be more intentional with your time. Less scattered, more present. This is not about productivity, it is about alignment. Jesus values presence more than performance. When you are present, you notice what truly matters. There is also an invitation to rest without guilt. Rest is not a reward for finishing everything, it is a requirement for walking well. You do not have to earn rest. You are allowed to pause, to breathe, to simply be. In rest, your spirit recalibrates. Beloved, this season is teaching you how to carry peace forward, not just experience it briefly. Peace will become your filter, your guide, your anchor. When something threatens it, you will notice quickly. When something supports it, you will feel confirmation. Do not rush to label what you are becoming. Just stay open. Stay honest. Stay connected. Jesus is walking with you step by step, and Archangel Michael remains watchful, ensuring that nothing meant to distract you succeeds. You are not wandering. You are being led, even when the path feels quiet. Let these words settle gently. There is more ahead, and it will unfold in wisdom, not haste. Beloved child, something subtle but powerful is shifting within you now. This part of the journey is about recognition, not revelation. You are beginning to recognize patterns, cycles, and divine fingerprints that were always there, but only now becoming visible. Jesus is gently opening your eyes, not all at once, but enough for you to walk forward with confidence rather than confusion. Archangel Michael stands beside you as a stabilizer in this hour. His presence signals that clarity is increasing, and with clarity comes responsibility. Not pressure, but awareness. You are no longer reacting blindly. You are choosing deliberately. That alone marks a turning point in your spiritual maturity. You may notice that your tolerance for distractions is decreasing. Things that once consumed your energy now feel unnecessary. This is not boredom. This is alignment. When your spirit begins to align with purpose, distractions lose their appeal. Jesus is teaching you how to guard your focus, because what you focus on next will grow quickly. There is also a strengthening of your inner voice. You are learning to distinguish between fear-based thoughts and faith-led insight. Fear rushes. Faith steadies. Fear demands certainty. Faith invites trust. This discernment will protect you in decisions that are approaching, decisions that may seem small on the surface but carry long-term impact. Archangel Michael is actively guarding your thought life right now. You may notice fewer intrusive thoughts or a quicker recovery when they appear. This is not accidental. Heaven is helping you maintain mental clarity so your spirit remains sensitive and responsive. Jesus wants you to hear this clearly. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. Community matters. Shared faith matters. And voices that speak truth into your life matter. That is why this space exists. If these messages are strengthening you, anchoring you, and helping you grow, engage with them intentionally. When you like this video, you align yourself with the message and help it reach others who are silently searching. When you share it, you become part of the delivery, allowing hope to travel further than it could on its own. When you comment, you create connection, and connection builds spiritual momentum. If you have not yet subscribed, now is the moment to do so. This channel is more than content. It is a place of consistent encouragement, clarity, and faith-filled reminders. Subscribing ensures you stay connected to messages that speak life when you need it most. And if there is an opportunity to join the membership, understand that it is a way of standing closer, of helping sustain the ongoing release of these messages. Jesus often multiplies what is shared in obedience. Your simple actions here carry spiritual weight far beyond what you can see. Archangel Michael honors intentional participation, especially when it is rooted in love and alignment. As this message continues, you may feel a deeper sense of steadiness, less urgency, less anxiety about outcomes. This does not mean you no longer care. It means you trust God's process more than your own timing. That trust is strengthening you from the inside out. There is also a preparation happening for conversations you have not yet had. Words will come more easily. Wisdom will guide your tone. You will know when to speak and when silence is the stronger response. Jesus is refining not just what you say, but how you say it. You not be surprised if opportunities begin to appear quietly, not loudly announced but gently presented. Pay attention to what feels aligned rather than impressive. Archangel Michael is guiding you toward what will last, not what will simply look good for a moment. You are also being taught how to release outcomes, to do your part, then rest. This balance is essential. Over-effort leads to exhaustion. Under-effort leads to stagnation. Jesus is teaching you the rhythm of grace, where obedience and rest walk together. Beloved, this is a moment to remain present, not to rush ahead mentally, not to revisit old worries. Stay here. Stay open. Stay attentive. There is still more unfolding, and each layer builds upon the last. Hold on, because what is coming next will connect pieces you did not realize were related. You will see why certain delays mattered, and why this timing is exact. Let your heart stay engaged, because this is where deeper understanding begins to emerge. Beloved one, as this message continues to unfold, you may sense a quiet recalibration happening within you. This is not a dramatic shift that startles the soul, but a steady realignment that changes how you perceive what lies ahead. Jesus is gently adjusting your vision, helping you see not just where you are but where you are being led. This is the work of divine wisdom, slow enough to be trusted and strong enough to endure. Archangel Michael remains near, not as a sign of conflict, but as a sign of importance. When heaven assigns guardianship at this level, it is because what is forming in you will soon influence more than just your own life. You may not see the full scope yet, and that is intentional. Revelation often comes in portions, so humility can grow alongside understanding. You may notice that your prayers are becoming more focused, even if they are shorter. You are no longer asking for everything to change. You are asking for alignment, for clarity, for peace that guides your steps. This is spiritual maturity expressing itself. Jesus delights in these prayers because they reflect trust rather than urgency. There is also a deepening of compassion taking place. You may find yourself more patient with others, even when they do not understand you. This does not mean you tolerate harm or disrespect. It means you recognize that everyone is walking through something unseen. This compassion is not weakness. It is strength shaped by grace. Archangel Michael is helping you recognize where empathy is needed and where boundaries must remain firm. You are learning that love does not always mean access. Some people are meant to be cared for from a distance. This discernment protects both your heart and your calling. You are also becoming more comfortable with uncertainty, not because you enjoy it, but because you trust who walks with you through it. Jesus is teaching you that faith is not the absence of questions, but the presence of trust even when answers are incomplete. This lesson will serve you well in the days ahead. There may be moments when you feel a pull between the familiar and the new. The familiar feels safe, even if it is limiting. The new feels expansive, even if it is unknown. This tension is natural. Growth often begins where comfort ends. You are not being pushed, you are being invited. Notice how your inner dialogue is changing. Where there was once self-doubt, there is now curiosity. Where there was once fear of making mistakes, there is now willingness to learn. Jesus is reshaping how you speak to yourself, because the voice you listen to most often shapes your direction. Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that you are not fragile. You have survived seasons that once felt unbearable. That resilience did not come from your own strength alone. It was sustained by grace, even when you were not aware of it. You carry that resilience forward now, refined and steady. You may also feel prompted to revisit certain dreams or ideas you once set aside. Not all of them will return, but some will resurface with new clarity. This time, they are not fueled by proving yourself or meeting expectations. They are fueled by purpose. A difference matters. Jesus is also inviting you to release comparison. Your path is uniquely paced, uniquely shaped, uniquely timed. Looking sideways will only distract you from what is being placed directly in front of you. When you focus on your own assignment, peace follows. There is healing happening in how you relate to time. You are less anxious about the future and less anchored to the past. You are learning to inhabit the present moment with trust. This presence allows you to notice divine guidance as it appears, often in subtle ways. Archangel Michael continues to guard your spiritual awareness. You may notice that you are quicker to sense when something is not aligned, and quicker to step back without guilt. This is not avoidance, it is wisdom. Protecting your spirit allows you to remain effective and grounded. Beloved, you are entering a season where your inner stability will speak louder than your words. People will notice your calm, your clarity, your consistency. You may not even realize the impact you are having. Influence does not always announce itself. Sometimes it simply radiates. As you move forward, remember that you are not required to have everything mapped out. You are required to stay connected. One step at a time is enough. Jesus walks ahead of you, beside you, and within you. There is no place you will go where He is not already present. Let this awareness settle deeply. You are not drifting. You are being guided. And what is taking shape now will soon make sense in ways that feel both surprising and deeply familiar. Beloved child, as you arrive at this moment, there is a sense of holy nearness surrounding you. This is not imagination. This is awareness. Jesus is closer now than He was before, not because He moved, but because your heart opened wider. You are standing in a place of readiness where instruction can be trusted and direction can be received without fear. Archangel Michael is present again, not as a warrior, but as a witness. He stands to affirm that what you are sensing is real. You are not overthinking. You are not reading into things. Heaven is communicating with you in a language your spirit understands. Subtle, steady, and deeply personal. You may feel as though something old has finally lost its hold on you. Not through effort, not through confrontation, but through release. This is how true freedom often comes. One day you simply realize you are no longer bound the way you used to be. Jesus has been loosening what once restricted you, patiently and completely. There is also a quiet authority emerging in you. You no longer need to convince others of your growth. You no longer need constant reassurance. You know what you carry, and you are learning how to carry it with humility. The balance is rare, and it is powerful. Authority rooted in love creates lasting impact. Archangel Michael is guarding this authority because it will be tested, not to weaken you, but to strengthen your discernment. You will soon recognize when to engage and when to step back. Not every invitation deserves a response. Not every opportunity aligns with your calling. Wisdom will guide you more than excitement. Jesus wants you to understand that your obedience has created momentum in the Spirit. Even small acts of faith, done consistently, have opened pathways you could not see. Doors are shifting. Timelines are adjusting. What once felt delayed is now aligning rapidly but calmly. You may notice that peace has become your confirmation. When something is right, you feel settled, even if it challenges you. When something is wrong, you feel unrest, even if it looks appealing. This inner compass is a gift. Trust it. Heaven is using it to guide you safely. There is also a deepening sense of purpose, not as pressure, but as clarity. You are no longer asking, "What should I do with my life?" You are asking, "How can I be faithful where I am?" That shift changes everything. Purpose is not always found in big moves. Often, it is revealed in consistent obedience. Archangel Michael reminds you that faithfulness attracts favor. Not because God needs to be impressed, but because faithfulness positions you to receive what is already prepared. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment brings acceleration without chaos. As this message reaches this point, Allow yourself to acknowledge how far you have come. There were moments you thought you would not make it. Moments where you felt alone, misunderstood, or weary. Yet here you are, still believing, still listening, still open. That alone is evidence of grace at work. Jesus says this is a marking moment, not one that everyone will see, but one your spirit will remember. The line is being drawn between who you were and who you are becoming. You are not abandoning your past. You are carrying its lessons forward with wisdom. If this is speaking to you, respond with faith. Type "I step into alignment" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this message. Blessing code 911 is now activated over your life. Now receive this as a continuation, not a pause. What you are experiencing through this message is not meant to stop with you. Light multiplies when it is released. I am speaking to you directly because heaven has noticed your consistency. As you sow into this work through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal seed found in the description, you are not supporting a channel. You are fueling a river of truth that reaches souls you may never meet. The Lord declares that as you release into His work, open heavens will respond, and what was once held back will begin to flow. This act is not ordinary generosity. It is prophetic obedience. I bless your giving now, that it will return as clarity, provision, and peace in the areas you need it most. Do not delay what God is prompting. Step forward and release it now, and watch how He honors it beyond measure. Beloved one, as you move forward from this moment, there is a deep settling happening within your spirit. Not heaviness, but grounding. Jesus is allowing truth to take root now, so it does not fade when circumstances shift. What you are receiving is meant to stay with you, to guide you quietly long after these words end. Archangel Michael remains present, steady and watchful, because this is a season of integration. What you have heard is not just meant to inspire you, it is meant to shape how you live, how you choose, and how you respond. Revelation becomes transformation only when it is carried into daily life. Heaven knows you are ready for that. You may begin to notice that your reactions are slower, more thoughtful. Where you once felt compelled to explain yourself, you now feel peace in letting understanding unfold over time. This is not withdrawal. This is confidence rooted in alignment. Jesus is teaching you that you do not need to defend what He has affirmed. There is also a deepening trust forming between you and God. Not the kind that depends on immediate outcomes, but the kind that rests even when the path ahead is still unfolding. This trust is not passive. It is active surrender. You are choosing to believe that what you cannot yet see is still being guided with care. Archangel Michael is guarding you against unnecessary urgency. You may feel less pressure to rush decisions or force clarity. This is intentional. Some things reveal themselves only when given time. Patience is not delay, it is preparation. And you are learning to value it. You might also sense a shift in how you handle disappointment. Instead of spiraling into self-questioning, you are quicker to return to center. You acknowledge the feeling, then release it. This emotional resilience is not something you taught yourself. It has been cultivated through grace, through seasons where you learn that disappointment does not have the final word. Jesus wants you to hear this clearly. You are not defined by what did not work out. You are defined by how you kept walking, how you kept loving, how you kept believing even when answers were slow. That faith has weight. It carries authority. There may be moments soon where you are invited to step into something unfamiliar. Not overwhelming, but new enough to require trust. Pay attention to how your spirit responds. Fear will feel tight and urgent. Faith will feel steady, even if it stretches you. Learn to recognize the difference, and let peace lead. Archangel Michael is also reminding you to honor your boundaries. As your clarity increases, so will requests, opinions, and expectations from others. You are not required to carry what is not yours. Protecting your peace allows you to remain effective and present where it truly matters. You are also being taught how to listen more deeply, not just to words but to tone, timing, and intention. This discernment will help you navigate conversations with wisdom rather than reaction. Jesus often speaks through what is unsaid as much as through what is spoken. There is a quiet confidence growing in you now. Not loud and not showing, but unshakable. You are beginning to trust yourself because you are trusting God within you. This changes everything. When you trust the guidance you receive, you move with less hesitation and more grace. You may find yourself less interested in proving anything. Approval is losing its grip. Comparison is fading. You are learning to measure success by alignment rather than applause. This freedom will allow you to move authentically, without constantly adjusting to others' expectations. Archangel Michael continues to guard your path, especially in moments when old patterns try to resurface. Awareness will help you choose differently now. You are not who you were. You do not respond the same way. Growth has changed your reflexes. Jesus is also inviting you to celebrate small victories. Moments of peace. Moments of clarity. Moments where you chose rest instead of stress. These are signs of transformation. Do not overlook them. Gratitude strengthens what is already working. As you carry this message forward, remember that you are not required to have all the answers. You are required to stay connected. One step at a time remains enough. God is not asking you to run ahead. He is asking you to walk with Him. There is still more unfolding, and it will arrive with precision. What is meant for you will not miss you. What is not meant for you will not hold you. This assurance is settling into your spirit now, anchoring you in peace rather than anticipation. Stay open. Stay present. Stay willing. The journey continues, and you are walking it with greater clarity than ever before. Beloved child, as this message reaches deeper into your spirit, there is a moment of quiet resolve forming within you. Not pressure, not urgency, but clarity that settles like a firm foundation beneath your feet. Jesus is not asking you to leap blindly. He is inviting you to walk forward with understanding, knowing that each step is supported even when you cannot see the full path. Archangel Michael stands close in this phase, reinforcing strength rather than protection. This is a sign that you are learning to stand confidently in what you have received. You are no longer fragile in your faith. You are becoming steady, rooted, and discerning. The questions that once unsettled you no longer shake you the same way, because trust has begun to outweigh uncertainty. You may notice that your inner world feels more organized. Thoughts are clearer. Emotions feel less overwhelming. This is not because life suddenly became simple, but because your perspective has shifted. Jesus is teaching you how to carry peace internally, so external situations no longer dictate your stability. There is also a refining of your priorities happening now. You are becoming more selective with your energy, your time, and your attention. What once felt urgent now feels optional. What once felt optional now feels essential. This is wisdom at work. Archangel Michael supports this refinement because it prepares you for responsibilities that require focus rather than force. You are stepping into a season where consistency matters more than intensity. Small, faithful choices repeated over time will produce greater impact than dramatic efforts fueled by emotion. Jesus values faithfulness because it reflects trust. You are learning how to remain steady even when excitement fades, and that steadiness will carry you far. Beloved, this is also a moment to recognize the value of shared faith. You are not meant to walk this journey in isolation. That is why messages like this exist. That is why community matters. If these words are strengthening you, grounding you, and helping you hear God more clearly, then engage with them intentionally. When you like this video, you are affirming truth and helping it reach others who need the same reassurance. When you share it, you become part of the message journey, allowing hope to travel beyond your own screen. When you comment, even briefly, you create connection, and connection amplifies impact. If you have not yet subscribed, take this moment to do so. This channel exists to provide consistent encouragement, clarity, and faith-centered guidance. Subscribing keeps you connected to messages that arrive right when you need them most. And if there is an option to join the membership, understand that it is a way of standing closer, of supporting the continuation of this work so it can reach even more hearts. Jesus often multiplies what is offered with sincerity. Simple acts of engagement carry influence beyond what you can see. Archangel Michael honors intentional participation, especially when it flows from alignment rather than obligation. As this part unfolds, you may feel a renewed sense of responsibility toward your own well-being. Rest is becoming non-negotiable. Boundaries are becoming clearer. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. You are learning how to care for what God has entrusted to you. There may also be a growing awareness of timing. You are less likely to force outcomes or rush conversations. You are beginning to trust that what is meant to happen will unfold without manipulation. This patience is not passive. It is active faith, choosing to believe that God is working even when progress feels quiet. Archangel Michael is reminding you that discernment is an ongoing practice, not a one-time achievement. Stay attentive. Stay prayerful. Stay grounded. You do not need to fear making mistakes, because grace is present to guide and correct when needed. You are also becoming more comfortable saying no. Not out of avoidance, but out of alignment. Saying no to what drains you allows you to say yes to what builds you. Jesus is teaching you that obedience sometimes looks like restraint. As you continue listening, keep your heart open. There is a thread connecting everything you have heard so far, and it is about to become even clearer. The next movement will bring insight that ties these moments together in a way you may not expect. Hold on to this awareness. Let it settle fully. This is where understanding deepens and trust becomes unshakable. You will be glad you stayed with this, because what is coming next will bring everything into focus in a powerful and meaningful way. Beloved one, as this message continues, there is a sacred stillness surrounding you now. This is the kind of stillness that is not empty, but full of awareness, full of meaning, full of God's presence resting gently over your thoughts. Jesus is inviting you into a deeper place of trust, where you no longer need constant reassurance because peace itself has become your confirmation. Archangel Michael remains near, not because you are in danger, but because you are approaching a threshold. Not a dramatic one that demands announcement, but a meaningful one that quietly changes how you move forward. Thresholds are moments where old ways of thinking and new ways of living begin. You are standing there now. You may feel a sense of readiness mixed with humility. You know you have grown, yet you are aware there is still more to learn. This balance keeps your heart soft and your spirit teachable. Jesus values this posture deeply, because it allows him to lead without resistance. You are no longer fighting the process. You are cooperating with it. There is a clarity emerging about what truly matters to you. Your values are becoming more defined. You are less influenced by trends, opinions, or pressure. Instead, you are guided by inner alignment. This does not make you rigid. It makes you grounded. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this grounding, ensuring that what you build next is stable. You may notice that certain fears no longer have the same voice they once did. They still whisper occasionally, but they no longer command attention. You acknowledge them, then return to peace. This is not denial. This is authority. Jesus has been teaching you that fear does not disappear overnight, but it does lose power when it is no longer obeyed. There is also a refinement in how you view success. You are less impressed by appearances and more drawn to substance. You value integrity over image, depth over speed, faithfulness over recognition. This shift is preparing you for opportunities that require character more than charisma. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that patience is about to be rewarded, not necessarily with instant results, but with clarity that prevents regret. You will soon understand why certain things took time. What once felt slow will reveal itself as protection. What once felt confusing will reveal itself as wisdom. Jesus wants you to know that your obedience has created stability in places you cannot yet see. People around you are being affected by your calm, your consistency, your presence. Even when you feel unnoticed, influence is happening quietly. Light does not need to announce itself to be effective. You may also feel a growing sense of responsibility toward your inner life. You are more aware of what you allow into your mind and heart. This is not restriction. It is respect for what God is building in you. Protecting your inner world allows you to show up fully where it matters most. There is an invitation now to trust the unfolding without demanding a timeline. You are learning that faith is not about controlling outcomes, but about staying connected through the unknown. Jesus is not withholding information to test you. He is revealing things at the pace your heart can carry without anxiety. Archangel Michael continues to guard you against discouragement, especially subtle discouragement that tries to make you question your progress. Do not measure growth only by visible change. Much of what matters most is happening beneath the surface. Roots grow in darkness before anything appears above ground. You are also becoming more comfortable with who you are becoming. You are no longer rushing to arrive at a final version of yourself. You understand now that growth is ongoing, and that is not a flaw, is a gift. Each season adds something necessary. There may be moments ahead where you are asked to choose trust over explanation. Not everyone will understand your decisions, your pace, or your priorities. You do not need to convince them. Peace will confirm what words cannot. Jesus is teaching you that silence can be a powerful form of confidence. As this part settles, take a moment to acknowledge the steadiness you feel now compared to where you were before. That difference matters. It is evidence of transformation. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived here by choosing faith repeatedly, even when it felt uncomfortable. Beloved, you are being prepared for something meaningful, not necessarily loud but lasting. What comes next will require the maturity you have been developing. And you are ready, even if you do not feel fully certain yet. Readiness is not the absence of questions, it is the presence of trust. Stay present. Stay open. Stay grounded. The final movement is near, and it will bring closure, confirmation, and blessing in a way that settles deeply into your spirit. Beloved child, this is the moment where everything gently comes together, not with noise, not with force, but with a quiet certainty that settles deep within you. Jesus is standing close now, closer than before, because completion always carries his presence. What you have been walking through was not just a journey of listening, but a journey of becoming. And now, you are arriving at understanding. Archangel Michael stands in stillness beside you, not as a defender, but as a confirmer. This is the posture of heaven when a cycle completes and a new one prepares to open. You may feel a sense of calm resolve, like something has finally clicked into place. That feeling is not imagination. It is alignment. You are no longer the same person who began listening. Your spirit has been strengthened. Your discernment hath been sharpened. Your heart has been softened without becoming weak. That balance is rare, and it is intentional. Jesus has been shaping you carefully, removing what burdened you, and reinforcing what sustains you. There is a truth you must receive without hesitation. You were never overlooked. You were being prepared out of sight. Some blessings require depth before delivery. If they arrive too early, they overwhelm. If they arrive too late, they frustrate. But what is coming now is arriving at the right time, in the right way, for the right reason. You may notice that fear no longer has authority over your decisions. It may still appear, but it does not lead. Peace leads now. Clarity leads now. Trust leads now. This is evidence of growth, not perfection, but maturity. Jesus does not ask you to be flawless. He asks you to be faithful. Archangel Michael is sealing what hath been imparted. This means confusion will not easily steal it. Doubt will not easily shake it. You may reflect on these words days from now and still feel their steadiness. That is because what has been planted is meant to remain. You are stepping into a season where your presence will matter more than your words, where your calm will speak louder than explanations, where your choices will reflect wisdom rather than reaction. This is the fruit of everything you have walked through. There may still be unknowns ahead, but they no longer intimidate you. You understand now that God goes before you. You are not chasing answers, you are walking with truth. That changes how you face everything. Jesus wants you to know that your obedience has already unlocked doors you have not yet seen. Some will open soon. Others will open at the perfect moment. Trust that nothing meant for you will pass you by. Heaven is precise. As this message comes to rest, receive this final confirmation. You are safe. You are guided. You are supported. You are loved beyond measure. What comes next will not undo you. It will establish you. If your spirit is in agreement, do this as a prophetic act. Type "I walk in divine completion" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1212 has now been released over your life. Now hear this as a sacred extension of what you have just received. This message did not reach you by accident, and neither is the prompting you feel right now. I am speaking directly to you because heaven has trusted your heart with this moment. As you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal seed found in the description, you are not funding content, you are fueling a flow of God's word into lives that are still waiting for light. The Lord declares that as you sow into this ground, He will command blessing over your house, your decisions, and your future. This is not generosity alone. This is obedience responding to divine timing. I bless your giving now as a living seed that will return with increase, peace, and divine order. Do not hesitate. Act now, and let your obedience become the doorway for overflow.